So let's talk about the new kid on the block in knife country, GiantMouse. Promising name. Will it keep its promise? Let's find out. That knife collector here. Okay, thanks for tuning in. My name is Henk. So, GiantMouse. GiantMouse is a recent established company in the United States. Founders are Jens Enzo and Jesper Vox, both Danish knife makers, knife designers. And they had a few collaborations in the past, and in 2014 they were sitting in a bar with a mutual friend, and the mutual friend started asking about their collaborations, their knife design philosophy, etc., etc. And then they renewed their plannings on further collaboration. And so this year GiantMouse has arrived with 2 knife models on the market, and the knives are produced in Maniago, Italy. So USA established company, Danish founders, and produced in Italy. Pretty international. And when they started, they agreed that they would only produce very limited numbers of their knife designs, limited to a maximum of 400 pieces, and always with a maximum of 25% of those 400 pieces in a very special variation. So, in front of me, the first 2 knife designs and the 2 variations of the one. Let's start. First of all, the knife comes in a very nice, sturdy box with the name of the website and the company name, the model number, and this is the GM1 GiantMouse 1. Business card with the same info and the Instagram address and some knife information, warranty, etc., etc. Let's put it aside. And then the knife itself is in an inner box with a nice cotton baggie. Always nice to receive baggies. And this one all only printed with the company logo, the GiantMouse. And then the knife itself. So this is the GM1. Very clean designed knife with a fine stonewash blade and a kind of middle between stonewash bead blasted frame with some blue accents, very nice blue anodized accents. But let's start first with the dimensions. The GM1, and the same dimensions are for the very limited special variation, which comes later. So the dimensions for the GM1, 8-inch overall when opened, 20.3 centimeters, 3.3-inch blade or 8.4 centimeters, 4.7-inch handle or 11.9 centimeters, and it weighs 5.4 ounce or 154 gram. The price of this knife is $325 and there is some stock left. Very nice centering, great action, push button, light switch, opening hole, very smooth closing, spidey flick. So 4 different ways of opening the knife, and of course just two-handed also possible. And that you can use the spidey hole or the opening hole is possible because the detent of this model is very moderate, so not a very heavy strong detent, but just moderate enough to use all kind of opening ways of opening. The blade is designed very utilitarian. It's, you could call it a kind of hybrid blade design between spear point, clip point, Warncliffe, a kind of leaf form designed blade. Full flat ground. The blade is 4 mm thick, so it's quite heavy build with a very it thins out to the front, to the tip, so a very thin tip, but not a very delicate tip. I think the tip is strong enough for tasks where you use the tip, but very thin behind the edge because it is a very broad blade, so it can be thinned out very heavily. So this will be a good cutter, a good slicer. It runs on bearings and you hardly can feel it is on bearings. It is very smooth, but a very defined smoothness, so it will not drop free, but it is very smooth. So this is the kind of smoothness I like. But of course you can shake it. You can shake with a shake. You can close it very easy because it runs on washers. What I like about the design is the ongoing lines on top of the knife. The spine and the handle, they will the design line continue. Very nice. And when opened, it is nice and flush. The spine of the knife is nice, flush with the spine of the frame. All around, all corners are broken, are very heavily chamfered. As you can see, and no sharp corners to discover. Fit and finish on this knife is great. Backspacer and frame are all flush, nowhere gaps. A kind of hidden lanyard hole, and it's a 4-point construction, so pivot and 3 frame screws on both sides. Backspacer, pivot collar and clip anodized titanium. Lots of tension on the clip, but with a nice big gap to slide in the pocket easy, but enough tension so you can't lose the knife out of your pocket, and the cutout to deliver the spring of the frame lock is on the inside, so the outside, the presentation is very nice. And then each knife is individually numbered. This is number 252 of 300, and the knife itself is completely clean, no markings left except for the mouse on the pocket clip. Ergonomics, pretty good. The only thing is that with my size hands this bump is a bit of a poke on my pinky, but it doesn't hurt because it's all round off and chamfered. So this is pretty good grip, but the nicest grip I find is choking up in this big choil, finger choil. Also functions as a sharpening choil, of course. Only for if you have very big fingers, thick fingers, you could end up cutting yourself on the cutting edge, but for my size, hands and fingers, this is very comfortable. And then the jimping halfway the spine makes a lot of sense. Not very much traction because it is all round off and not aggressive, but just enough traction to feel to make it a good grip. I think it's a very capable knife because of the utilitarian blade shape, the nice curve, and the thick spine. The blade is made of N690 Bowler N690 CO steel. Very good all-round steel. Pretty good rust resistant. Takes an edge very good. Will get very sharp. And edge holding is somewhere between VG10 and 154 cm. So very good all-round steel. Maybe for the price $325 you could expect a higher end steel like M390, S90, etc, etc. But I think they made a good choice with the N690 steel, because this steel is very easy to sharpen also in the field, and personally I prefer steels like N690, 154 cm because of the ease of sharpening, and that's worth a bit. Jimping on the high flipper tab on front, not really aggressive, but it gives some traction when light switching. And then of course when the flipper is reversed it is actually like a finger guard, but I don't think the jimping will hurt your finger because it is all round off and not very aggressive. So I don't think you will have troubles when cutting for a long period of time, and the natural grip leaves some space between the jimping and your finger. And when choking up, the same thing for your middle finger. Reverse grip, also very good, with a natural curve for your thumb. Draw cut, good. All in all, very ergonomic design. Very nice knife. What is the target group of knife owners? I think because of the very limited production run, Vox and Enzo target, my opinion, collectors as well as high-end users. So the knife users that like to have a special knife, a high-end production knife, and the collectors. Is it worth the price? I can't judge that. I suppose a large Benza is $50 higher priced. That comes with F35 VN and also titanium, but this one runs on bearings. I don't know, I can't judge the price. Maybe for the N690 steel you could expect a higher end steel, but then again you have something special with this knife. Okay, I think that covers all. All in all, I think it's a very useful, very nice knife and very EDC friendly. So let's put this one aside. And then there is the GMP1, which comes in a dark box. And the dark box, as well as with the information card. The dark box, of course, equals the dark finish of the knife. So this is exactly the same knife as the GM1, only this one is PVD coated, and I think that is where the P stands for. So it is PVD coated. Also very nice in between stonewash bead blast. Very well done. And the gold bronze anodized hardware. Pivot collar as well as the pocket clip. And this is number 85 out of 100. So this one is made in a run of 100 pieces, and together with this one 400 total. This one is already sold out, and this one went for $375. Favors a bit to the presentation side, this one, but maybe it can be adjusted. No blade play, also very smooth, very defined smoothness, the same moderate detent, so pretty consistent quality. I think exactly the same definition of action. And for each knife they sell, they will donate $10 to the Save the Children's project. So you also serve a charity goal with buying such a knife. And let me for one time put it in front of the camera one more time. Great fit to finish, very consistent quality. Steel insert, of course, on both knives, which also functions as the over travel stop. Everything is nice and chamfered. So, those are the two GM1 and GMP1. And then finally, this is the box of the little fixed blade. Cardboard box with the well-known card, the cotton baggie, and then a very nice handmade sheet, handmade in Italy. Looks very good. If I have to complain about something, I would rather have seen this double stitched, but I think this will cover it with a drain hole if it's moist, belt loop, and the knife itself will come in a plastic bag and a paper sleeve, and there it is. Same blade design, and here you can see the size comparison. Same blade design, same steel, and 690. This one, according to the website, is currently produced as an unlimited production run. So that's a bit confusing for me, because elsewhere on the website they state that all knife designs will produce in a limited run of maximum of 400 pieces, and on this one is in an unlimited run. Each knife will be numbered individual, and on this one you see the number of the knife, the name of Fox and Enzo and the mouse, and the name of Fox and Enzo is in the with the folding knives. You can see it on the inside. I have to grab my light for that. Here you can see it. So with the folding knives there was room to do it inside, and on the little fixed blade they put it on the blade, but in a very subtle way. Dimensions of the little fixed blade: steel N690 CO, 5.4 inch overall or 13.8 centimeters, 2.6 inch blade or 6.6 centimeters. Handle is 2.8 inch or 7.2 centimeters, and the weight on this little one is 1.9 ounce or 54 gram. And I think that is not including the sheet. Very nice, well built, flat ground knife, jimping on top of the spine on the right spot for my thumb. 3-finger grip, so this knife will lend itself for a nice paracord or leather wrapping, and of course for a nice lanyard to extend the grip. But all in all, it's a very capable little knife with the sheet, and it snugs in very tight, so a secure sheet. You can slide the sheet very easy in your pocket or attach it to your belt. What I would have liked was a horizontal way of carrying of this sheet, but okay, this will work as well. also very tight. This knife is very nice to use as an EDC knife, I think, and for small camp tasks. The jimping on this spot I can't explain, because I don't think this knife is easily be used in a reverse grip, or you should do it like this, but no, I can't explain it. Everything is nicely round and chamfered, nowhere sharp corners, nowhere hot spots, very well done. So the GMF1, and the F I think stands for fixed. This one will cost you $95, and I don't know if for this one also is $10 donated to the Save the Children's charity program. I don't know. So I think that's it for now. Everything covered, except for the collectors. I think they do a great marketing job, Enzo and Vox. They also have some collectors goodies, for example this keyring, which can be ordered on their website, $38. Then they have a camp mug. I don't have an example of that. A camp mug which will cost you $80. Then they have a nice set of patches and stickers and a button, a pin button. So the sticker of Vox and Enzo, both starting in 1989 with knife making. A nice patch with the GiantMouse. Also the same, but then in a black and white color variation with the 25%, which means the 25% of the limited production run in a special color variation. And then the same with the sticker, and also the black and white sticker with the 25%, and then another square sticker with the GiantMouse, and the pin button with the GiantMouse. And this little set will cost you $15, but very nice for collecting purposes. By the way, these knives are not from me, but they are from a good friend of me, which provided these knives for reviewing purposes, and he gifted me the sticker and patch set, so that was very nice of him. And then there are t-shirts available which will cost $23, also with the GiantMouse logo on top of it. So a very good marketing of Jens and Enzo for collectors purposes. So that will cover it, I think. If you like this video, please like it. If you like my channel, please subscribe. Any comments or questions, I will try to answer all of them. That's it for now. Bye bye.